With Altered Carbon Season 2 releasing today, I thought now was a good time to talk about some issues I had with Season 1. There are some spoilers ahead. Altered Carbon Season 1 revolves around our leading badass, Takeshi Kovacs, being thrust 250 years into the future to solve the mystery of a wealthy man's murder. Putting Kovacs into a time period he's not familiar with is a common fish-out-of-water technique used by almost every Netflix show. Lost in space, they're on an unknown planet. Lock and Key is a new town with unknown magic, and it's used as a constant source of conflict or tension as the characters struggle to adapt to their new surroundings. The problem for me here is that Takeshi Kovacs is an envoy whose main ability is to seamlessly fit in and adapt to any environment or sleeve he's placed in, so a normal person would struggle to adapt to this change, but not Takeshi. Oh no, he's a cool character with basically no reactions to anything. Though I'm not sure if I can 100% blame the show for this, or if it falls with our 8-packed blank space Rick Flag of a leading man that might as well have been played by that guy from Avatar. Though, when Kovacs is being played by Will Yun Lee, he shows a much broader range of emotion other than just brooding and angry. So maybe it was more of a team effort. That aside, Kovacs spends his time seemingly unimpressed with everything, as if nothing has changed in the 250 years as he easily navigates the world and time. I don't recall them mentioning if he'd ever been to Earth before, as he grew up in Harlan's world, before bouncing around the colonies as a SeaTac officer. Because of all this, the conflict that would arise from the fish-out-of-water device is immediately removed, leaving you with the real reason writers use this trope. It's an easy way for characters to exposit every detail of the world to the protagonist instead of having to show it through world building. Detective Ortega, in this case, taking the brunt of the expository dialogue.
What is 653?
Something about spinning up murder victims to testify who killed them. Oh, come on. Everyone knows Bancroft. He's one of the first founding Mets. It's Lawrence Bancroft. He's over 360 years old. They call it the Arium.
It's a broadcast blocker.
Mercenary turned envoy turned mercenary again. Sole survivor of the Battle of Stronghold. Known by quite a few names. Mambalev, one-hand rending.
This is a cortical stack. As Protectorate citizens, we each have one, implanted when we are 1 year old.
Leading to another issue. Nipples are not a visual style. Altered Carbon doesn't have its own visual style. Instead, it just reuses the same retrofuturism Blade Runner created 30 years ago for what they then thought 2019 would look like, not over 300 years from now. The style in question boils down to neon and nipples. While I'm not complaining about the latter, it does mean the show lacks a unique identity and can easily be forgotten amongst the plethora of other cyberpunk sci-fi. Further to this, in flashbacks we get a look at Kovacs and the world before he gets put to sleep, revealing the problem that it looks indistinguishable from the future. So hundreds of years of super advanced technology and immortality appears to have no effect on the world. So I guess it doesn't even matter that Kovacs slept through it. Not that that's much of a prison sentence anyway, more so just time travel. Despite the issues I had with Season 1, I really quite enjoyed it. That was until Kovacs' sister Ray is introduced, and they force you through a flashback episode that's 20 minutes longer than the previous episode, and packs a whole series worth of plot into itself, while still managing to drag on, especially during the middle portion. Sure, we've seen Ray before in some of the show's many flashbacks, but she was assumed dead, serving to disconnect Kovacs from the new world as all his friends and family were gone. So in the episode 7 flashback we actually have all the twists revealed, and they all revolve around Ray. Ray is alive. Also Ray is the reason the envoys got attacked. Also Ray killed Kovacs' girlfriend. Also Ray is behind the plot of Lawrence Bancroft's murder. Also Ray was that random little girl at the museum. Also Ray is in charge of the Ghost Walker. The following episodes do pick up the pace, but it feels like they've shoehorned Ray in as the explanation to everything that's been happening. A shadowy figure puppeteering the plot, except you had no idea there even was a puppeteer. Imagine Palpatine's reveal as Darth Sidious in episode 3, but you'd never even seen his hologram commanding Dooku or the Trade Federation. It's still a twist, sure, but it doesn't carry nearly as much impact because it makes less sense the more ridiculous and complex it gets. The way it's revealed also bugged me. Kovacs looks at each of the sleeves, and we are given a flashback in case we're too stupid to remember who they were. Usually this type of reveal is way more satisfying when the audience works it out for themselves before the protagonist, giving everything that's said and done by the puppeteer nuanced meaning that all falls into place for the protagonist after it's discovered. It all just left a sour taste in my mouth and dampened my excitement for the second season, especially with all the plot threads being tied off and Kovacs giving his sleeve back to the original owner, meaning he's out of the role and we'll have to get used to a new actor. What I'm hoping for from Season 2 is that Anthony Mackie brings some likeable qualities to the role of Kovacs, even if it's a stark contrast to his characterization in Season 1. I'm also hoping for deeper world building, something beyond rich people like killing poor people and hookers are everywhere. Judging by the end of the first season though, Kovacs will spend the second season trying to find Kilcrest Falconer, whom Ray said was still alive, so expect a lot more flashbacks. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Thank you for watching.